Shalom. Uh, I found a I found some information about this. I'm gonna call this the ancient Edomites, Idumea. That's just another name for Edom, for Esau. That's in Greek, means Idumeans. And tripod.com, you can find this. Talks about the Edomites, where they live. This is where they live. It's Mount Petra, and it says Edom, and it means red. The name Edom was given to Esau, and Esau, his name means waste away is he. He had no melanin in his skin, so was the firstborn son of Isaac, or Isaac, or something like that. Yazik or something like that. That's his name. And right here, I found this information is interesting. It says, and the fraternal twin brother of Jacob, known as Jacob, when he sold his birthright, the kingdom of heaven, to the latter for a meal of lentil and pottage, and beans and pottage. Excuse me, but the country which the Lord subsequently gave to Esau was hence called the country of Edom, and his descendants were called Edomites. Edom was called Mount Seir. That's just another name for Edom. He was known as Mount Seir and Edom, known as Idumea, known as Mount Petra today. And also, Edom was woolly and a mountainous. They said Edom was a woolly and a mountainous. And why I say woolly and mountainous country? It's a woolly mountainous country. That's what Edom was, a woolly mountainous country. It embraced the narrow mountainous trace, about 100 miles long by 20 broad, but extending along the eastern side of Wadi Araba, from the northern end of the Gulf of Elah to the near along the western side of, I think, the Elah and the near to the western, along to the eastern side of Wadi Arba, or something like that, from the northern side and the end of the Gulf Coast. And it has narrow mountains. They say embrace the narrow mountains. That's what they did. And about 100 miles per hour, 20 abroad. And it goes down to the northern end of the Gulf of Elah and near the southern end of the Dead Sea. Okay. And the Dead Sea, the ancient capital of Edom, was Bozrah, and Petra appears to have been the principal stronghold in the days of Amaziah, 838 BCE. Elath or Ezon Geber were the seaports. Esau's bitter hatred to his brother Jacob for fraudulently obtaining his blessing appears to have been inherited by his latest posterity. The Edomites peremptorily refused to permit to the Israelites to pass through their land for a period of 400 years, and we have heard no more of the Edomites. They were then attacked and defeated by Saul, and some 40 years later by David. A lot of people say Saul killed the Edomites. That's not so. He spared Amalek. All the 5 descendants of Esau has not been done away with. That's a lie. He spared some, and Saul eventually got killed, if you know the story. Later they said David, that's what they say, but David, yeah, he killed a lot of Edomites, but Saul didn't. He spared one, if you read in the scripture. And joined King Nebuchadnezzar when the king besieged Jerusalem, and for their cruelty at the time they were fearfully denounced by the later prophets. After this, they settled in southern Palestine. And for more than 4 centuries, southern Palestine for 4 centuries to continue to prosper. But during the warlike rule of the Maccabees, they were Edomites as well, subdued and even forced to conform the Jewish laws. They created Judaism and rights and submitted to the government of the Jewish prefects. Edomites were now incorporated with the Jewish nation. They were idolaters, and their habits were singular. The Horites, they mixed with the Horites. Those were cave dwellers, by the way. Their predecessors in Mount Seir were, as their name implies, Trigolites. They said Trogolites, or dwellers in caves. Have you noticed they said dwellers in caves? And the Edomites seem to have adopted their dwellings as well as their country. Everywhere we meet with caves and grottos hewn in soft sandstone strata. That's what they say. They said strata. So yeah, this is ancient Edomites. And this is certain areas. I want to see something real quick in the area. This is ancient stuff. You can go to tripod.com. It has a lot of ancient stuff, okay stuff, and little stuff right there. And it's showing you the mountains they hid in Mesopotamia. This is Mesopotamia. Most of the ethnic people lived in. Yeah, the Hebrews were dark skinned. Everybody knows that. The Egyptians, and then the descendants of Japhet. Cannot go any farther. Okay. So, that's the ancient Edomites. That's where they lived at one time, Mount Seir. So with that, I want to say is shalom.